Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice coming to you live from the studios of Video Sign Incorporated. That's right. There's no way I was going to go into the studio today. Yesterday, it was bone dry, nothing on the ground. I got up at 4 this morning and it was 22 degrees out. Now it's 18. And I looked outside and everything was white. And I said, I got to go out there and take a look and see what we got. And it was like 6 inches of snow. I thought we were going to get 3 to 6 centimeters. We got 6 inches of snow today. So this is insane. I'm not going anywhere. And I can't believe people are out driving around in this, but they are. Niagara 411 said there were so many accidents, they couldn't even report them. There were so many going on. So there you go. It's bad out there. It's bad. If you don't have to go out, do not go out and challenge this weather. The roads are probably a mess. I haven't been out yet, but I know my street is smacked in. And you know what? I don't think we're going to see a plow today because it keeps snowing. It's snowing now, and it's supposed to snow into the afternoon. So that's crazy. What a mess out there. What are you going to do? It's winter in Niagara Falls. Yesterday, dry. We had 50-degree weather a week ago. All of a sudden, now it's like crazy, 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 crazy. Hey, what are you going to do? You do what you got to do. This is where we live. We got 6 weeks left, and that's that. We're into March. Now, Al McKay was supposed to come on the show tomorrow. We were going to talk about the regional budget and everything. He will be in on Monday, just to let everybody know if you're looking forward to having Al come in and talk about the regional budget and other budgets and just good governance. He will be in on Monday. Tomorrow is a PD day, which I forgot about, and so did he. So he would like to spend it with his daughter, and I don't blame him. God bless him and God bless his daughter. And he'll be in on Monday, though. Don't worry about it. He'll be in, and we'll be doing this show. So don't worry about it tomorrow. What I'm going to do tomorrow is go through all the budgetary items. I've been through the budget, 196 pages of it. I don't know, 40 or 50 of explanations of what they're doing. And I'll be talking about that tomorrow on the show. So don't worry about it. We'll go through it. And keep your ears open. And if you have any questions, ask me, and I'll be telling you where I can find efficiencies. I think I can find efficiencies. I'm rocking my Dalek t-shirt today. I don't know if you know who the Daleks are. Look it up, Doctor Who. Before we get into the show, I have to talk about my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Now, you look outside in this weather, and I've been warning you for over a month, 2 months now. Get your car in and get it checked. You don't want it breaking down on a day like today. Well, here we are. You got your snow tires on? Did you procrastinate? Well, don't fool around. Get your car in there. If this doesn't put a fire under your butt, nothing will. Get it in there. Ken will go through your car, top to bottom, A to Z, front to back. Make sure all your systems are go. Make sure your car's running right so you don't break down in this kind of weather. If you haven't got your snow tires on, it may be a good time to get it in there and get them on. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. You can't go wrong. Go see Ken. He's going to take care of you. Go to wildbillsauto.ca. Now, while you're at wildbillsauto.ca, go to Paul Lemire 4973 at YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up, thumbs down, leave comments. Come on, get involved. We have an election this year. We have the budget coming up. We have the regional budget coming up. The more you know, the better off you are. Don't be left in the dark. Get out there and subscribe to this channel so you know what's going on. You may not agree with everything I say, but you know what? At least you'll have an opinion and you'll be informed of what's going on out there. And then you can form your own opinion. That's it. Paul Lemire 4973, or just search your city, your voice on YouTube. We'll get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, about halfway through the show. So let's take a look at the review. The headline in the review was, why do Niagara Falls councilors need a closed-door budget session? Well, that's a very, very, very good question. Let me tell you why. It's an easy one to answer, because when they get in that meeting, they're going to be read the Riot Act, what questions to ask, and which they should talk about, and any questions that they should ask in the meeting so that they can be cleared up before they get to the public meeting. let's face it, it's 196 pages with another bunch of pages explaining the sleight of hand performed by the penguin and the squirrel. I defy anyone to understand it all. I've looked through it a couple times now, and there's a lot of hocus pocus going on in it. And part of that has to do with the casino revenue, and I can explain that too. So rather than embarrass anyone in the meeting, because most probably won't have any questions or even a clue of what it all means, and very few counselors will even go through the 196 pages, especially to question the expense side of the whole ledger. It's better off to get it all out in a closed meeting, and they don't look embarrassed. They're not embarrassed. They say no decisions are made in the closed meeting. That's what they're saying. But you know what? I'm going to call baloney on that one, because I'm sure that there are a lot of decisions are made in that meeting. They don't pass anything in it. They do it in front of you, but there's a lot of decisions made in that meeting. Believe me. Let's just tell the truth and face the facts. But this closed door meeting does streamline the open door meeting, the one in council. Otherwise, you'd have Counselor Motormouth and Counselor Nincompoop laying out a never-ending stream of inane questions. So it's a good thing they have the closed door session to lay out the ground rules and answer any obtuse questions Counselor may have, thus making the open door meeting manageable. Now, the one thing you are going to see when you go in there is the casino revenue. And I've been talking about casino revenue for a long time. They allocate 14 million out of the 18 million that they get. And we've had all kinds of excuses why they do it. Oh, what happens if we don't get the casino money next year? It's all baloney. It's all baloney. So this year they put it in. So when you ask why they put it in, well, you know what? We got the money. The money's always been there. It's just we never put it in the ledger. Well, hold it now. When you put it on the revenue side of the ledger, it gives us more revenue and lessens our taxes. If they would have put 4 million in last year on the revenue side of the budget and everything remained the same, we would have a zero tax increase. So to say that it's there, we just didn't put it in the revenue, but we have it. It's in a reserve fund sitting there. See, that's a sleight of hand. That's not being truthful, and I'll tell you why. Because it's sitting there, doesn't get included in revenue. And when it doesn't get included in revenue, we run a deficit. And when we run a deficit, they turn to taxpayers to make that deficit up. They don't do efficiencies. We know that. We've seen that too often. So by putting that 4 million in before they pass the budget, it directly affects revenue, and thus it reflects the mill rate. It affects our property taxes. Putting it in after the fact does nothing. And you got to remember, all these numbers are just numbers on a ledger. None of them might come true because they're all just predictions. Like nobody at city council and nobody and staff have a crystal ball to tell us exactly what our expenses are going to be, what projects are going to cost. I mean, if they get into World War III, everything that they've predicted may go to babloo. It doesn't matter. So it's only a prediction. And they can play with these numbers all they want. But when they don't put that 4 million in last year, that means we have to make it up. Now they're putting it in this year, and this concerns me even more. Because when you take that 4 million in there, and they're talking about 6% tax increase, they're really down $9 million. Not the 4 million that it looks like on the ledger, right? They're really down because they've had to add something and put that 4 million in to bring it down to 6%, which represents about $4,200,000. So my concern is, okay, they put it in there now, but why are we still having to pay 6%? If everything stayed the same, or even rose a little bit, we should be at 1 or 2%. But no, that 4 million was blown. So it's like it never existed anyway. It should be at the bottom of the ledger and give us $4 million more so taxpayers don't have to have their taxes raised. So when they tell you that, oh no, we put it there, it doesn't make a difference. It was there before, just over here. No, it's not the same. It might have been there, but it's not on that revenue side of the ledger. You have revenue and you have expenses. When expenses exceed revenue, you have a deficit. When you have a deficit, you got to make it up. And there's only a few ways to make it up: going out and loaning money, cutting programs and stuff, or turning to the taxpayers and picking their pocket. So when you hear this rhetoric on when is it going to be January 27th about the casino money, if anybody bothers to ask, I don't even know if they will. Who knows if they even notice it? If somebody does ask and they give you this big goofy explanation, understand that that money was always there. They just didn't let us use it and take advantage of it. Now they are, and it's not making a difference because they've blown it already. They've blown it on something else so they can give us a 6% increase or whatever they're going to come in at. Anyway, that's the way it is. You can believe it or not. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. You can listen to their explanations and their Houdinis and, the 3-cup trick where pick out where the coin is or whatever. You can listen to that, or you can just look at the ledger yourself and figure it all out. It's all there. It's all there if you want to look. That's all I can tell you about that. Let's move on. New regional chair Bob Gale is already bringing common sense to the region as regional councilors consider spending $1.5 million on a transportation master plan update. And we see all kinds of these consultants come in and make up these master plans, but this one's costing us $1.5 million. That's you and me. Councillor Vance Badaway, Port Coburn councillor, says the transportation master plan has to be updated since it hasn't been updated since 2017. Remember that date in a minute. And the future of the region depends on data they would collect to address infrastructure needs to move people and goods around the region, as well as transit access. The plan will take the region through 2051, at a time when it is anticipated the population of the region will grow to 700,000 people. Woo! I'm not going to be here in 30 years. Your kids might. I can't even imagine what's. I can't even imagine it. Now, Chair Gale is not impressed with this number. He says these plans come and go, some being obsolete a decade later. Let's see, 2017 was the last one. Now they want to revamp it. It's going to cost $1.5 million, and we're 9 years into it. So Bob Gale is bang on the money. They're obsolete a decade later. This one is obsolete 9 years later, they're saying. And he says, Bob Gale, the chair of the region now, I say this lightly, we're broke. He's admitting it. Everybody's been saying it. We knew that. Ask John Ringo Beat Me, he'll tell you. Ask me, I'll tell you. We're broke. The region is broke. Every government is broke. And there's nothing that could be farther from the truth. We can't ask anyone for more taxes, but yet they continually do. Should we not concentrate on 2 or 3 projects that we need to get done and not analyze everything in the region that we can't afford and won't be able to afford? So they can come up with all these plans. The bottom line is they got no money to afford it. And Bob Gale is right. The region is broke and still needs at least $1 billion to complete the existing wastewater rehab. All the plants need rehab, and it's going to cost $500 million. And we need $500 million to pay for the brand new Niagara South wastewater treatment plant that we need as a city to take care of the hospital and all the surrounding infrastructure and builds that are going to go around the hospital. So we need that money. So even spending, I know $1.5 million doesn't sound like a lot in the big picture, but at the end of the day, it's $1.5 million plus something else, plus something else, plus something else. It never ends, and it adds up eventually to billions. Now, Bob Gale is totally right. I'm telling you, the region's broke. You need a lot of money. And there's the wastewater treatment plant is just one that we need. There's probably many other important projects that need to be completed in the region. Now, Diana Moriale, Regional Director of Growth Management and Planning, says Niagara is struggling with its current transportation network. Now, listen to this word salad. This is worthy of Kamala Harris. At the end of the plan, when we come back to the Public Works, are you listening? Because this is a good one. When we come back to the Public Works Committee with a recommended model and the areas that will need expansion based on developmental potential and how many residential and employment permits we're absorbing, then we will sequence that to determine what we need to have a capital budget in place and to come up with a funding mechanism. Hey, I'm not even reading that again. Did you get it? Did you understand what she said? No, of course not. It's a word salad, Kamala Harris worthy, and it's a bunch of baloney. Buses have wheels. That's why the wheels turn round and round, and the buses go down the street. And it doesn't make sense. But there it is, another word salad. Confuse everybody. Yep, we have our own Kamala Harris right at Regional Council in the Growth Management Department. If you made sense of that, please explain it to me. That was quite a word salad. So Bob Gale is right. Spending money at this time should be a big no. Between consulting fees and master plan costs, we could build that new water treatment plant in Niagara South. Stop wasting our money, please, and concentrate on our needs today. There is no money, and some big projects we have to get completed. The $1.5 million study to be completed by 2027, by the way, will not fix the problems we have today. Of course not. We got to get better. We have to get more efficient, and we have to find a way to get the money to make these projects work. There you go. Maybe Al McKay will speak to it on Monday when he comes in, a little bit more to that. Now, let's go up to Toronto, to Queen's Park, with Edsel Ford not only venting his hate for American booze. Oh, he hates American booze. He threw all the American booze off the shelf. It's sitting rotting in a warehouse, costing us millions, 80 million bucks worth or something. He doesn't want to sell it. No, he's not going to sell it. Try to get our money back. It'll rot. And other provinces are trying to get our money back, but not Edsel Ford. Big mouth Billy Bass up there. He won't do it. And not only that, now he's ready to pull Crown Royal rye off the shelves because they're closing down a bottling plant in Amherstburg near Windsor next month, costing 200 Ontario workers their jobs. Now, a poll found that 43% of Canadians support Ford in removing Crown Royal from the shelves. This guy, Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew, is not too happy about that since Crown Royal is manufactured in Manitoba, and pulling it off the thirsty Ontario shelves is definitely going to affect his province. And this shows the frailty of the Team Canada, elbows up Team Canada concept. He thinks Ford should concentrate on fighting Trump, not other provinces. Ford should concentrate on Trump and put Crown Royal back on the shelves if he's going to take it off. All you Crown Royal fans, and I'm not one because it gives me agita, you may have to cross the border to get it. And I'm not talking about the U.S. border. You're going to have to cross the Manitoba border into Manitoba to get it. How ridiculous is this? How can this country even think of making a trade deal with the United States when they can't even make trade deals within the boundaries of Canada? Can't even make them within the borders of Canada with each other. So Edsel's bound and determined to gas Crown Royal off the shelves. And you'll probably see it off the product list very, very soon. And of course, you can always go to Quebec or Manitoba or some other province to get it, or just cross the border into the U.S., go over there on a 48, and you're allowed to bring a bottle back anyway. So there you go. Now let's move on to Mark Carnage, from Ontario to Canada to Queen's Park to Ottawa. He's in China trying to make a deal with the communists. For some unknown reason, he would rather deal with communist China than the U.S. Well, we know why. He's got TDS. This guy, Carnage, he's a real piece of work. Of course, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Anita Anand, is giddy with the prospect of dealing with the communists. She loves it. Stepping back her rhetoric about China being a disruptive force. That's what she said before. Oh, now she's in love with it. She's the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And she's embracing China as friends. Oh, yeah, they're friends. They're friends of ours. Yep. What a crock. This is a crock of shite. I'm telling you that right now. China's out for one thing, China. And they'd love to control Canada if possible. And our weak-minded government is just as stupid enough to give Xi the farm. All with Trump looking on from the sidelines, knowing that Canada's fate is to be the 51st state. And these useless deals they're making all over the place with communists and third world countries, they're just making the takeover of Canada more possible every day. On a monetary scale, as Canada fails, or on a strategic scale, as Canada's proximity to the US and America and the Western Hemisphere is at risk. Canada's being a bad neighbor, and they're going to pay for the bad decision. Don't worry. Elbows up, dum dums, elbows up. And that's the way they work, these guys. I don't get it. You want to make a deal with China? You think they're going to keep any deals? You can't trust them. Are you kidding me? They're going to wander into Taiwan. Then what are you going to do? Who are you going to back? Their Ministry of Foreign Affairs and you going to back Taiwan or are you going to back China? You got a trade deal with China. Aren't you a little bit forced to back China? Yeah, I think you might be. Well, let's move down to the situation in Fraudesota. It's getting totally ridiculous. Billions have been stolen with money, and millions have been tied to Ilhan Omar and her husband. Yeah, lots of money is tied to them. Now, the Somalians are admitting they took the money. Yeah, we took it. We took it. And they're threatening to trigger a civil war if anybody cuts those funds off. Yeah, we want more. Yeah, we stole it. No big deal. Only 10, 12 billion. And you know, when they say we stole it, you know who they stole it from? The American people. Just like we get ripped off in Ontario all the time by these illegal immigrants. They cause trouble. They overwhelm our health system. They overwhelm our housing markets. I mean, the real cause is open borders to most stuff that goes on, including crime. Well, it's worse in the United States because there's more people and they let 20 million people in instead of us with our just 5 or 6 million or 10 million, whatever it is. And so now everybody's going crazy. As they cut off their money, their fraudulently obtained money, these people are threatening a civil war. And it's really unbelievable that they'll stand there and look in the camera and say, yeah, we took it. We took it. But thankfully, planes are leaving every day full of illegals, getting them the hell out of Minnesota, and all the Somali criminals are going to come to their just rewards. That's the way it's going to go down, jail or deportation. And Omar and her husband are next on the list. They're going to. They're going to go. Tim Waltz, Tampon Tim, he's going to jail. He's going to jail. Don't worry. He's involved in all this. He turned a blind eye to it. And this douchebag criminal, Ilhan Omar, contends that the government is wasting taxpayer dollars going after the criminals. Can you imagine the balls on this woman? She's saying that the government's wasting money. They just stole $12 billion. They said the government's wasting dollars going after these criminals that stole billions from taxpayers. Can you imagine? She goes on a TV show and says that the government's wasting money investigating all this. She's on the streets supporting these groups that fight ICE and resist ICE agents. I mean, she said, oh, this poor girl that got shot, she was just turning her car around and they shot her. No. That's the biggest lie ever. How she can sit in front of a camera and say that is beyond me. So we have a sitting congresswoman born in Somalia now leading her own semi-insurrection against enforcement and federal officials, interstate and federal law interstate. I mean, these laws are supposed to save lives, not put people in jeopardy because of her. She's got to go, and the sooner the better. These Somalians and these fraudsters, these criminals, they ain't seen nothing yet because now the IRS wants to get involved. And you know what? When the IRS gets involved for illegal gotten gains and not paying taxes on it, then they really go down. You remember what happened to Al Capone, don't you? Yeah. He didn't get caught for all the crimes he committed, all the murders. He got caught by the IRS. These people are going down too. While we're still in Fraudesota, I want to talk about the situation being so bad that Trump may consider another way to handle it. But first, I want to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And you know, I always talk about Pete's Pizza menu, but I got one here. Look at this. This menu is loaded like this. Look at this. Loaded with goodies, loaded with specials, loaded with all kinds of great food. They're not just about pizza. Check that out. Check that menu out. It's awesome. And you look at this menu, you see everything: combo specials, specialty pizzas, build your own pizzas, chicken and fries, appetizers, a gluten-free pizza, wings. Oh, their wings are fantastic. Their wings are fantastic. All kinds of sauces: barbecue, mild, medium, poutine, large wedges in poutine, bacon poutine, steak subs, steak and cheese subs, pizza subs. Geez, I was thinking about a pizza sub one night, and I thought, where am I going to go to? I should have went there. I never even knew they had that. I should look at the menu better myself. But that's what I mean. You always find something good in this menu. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Fantastic pizza. They use the Mancini family recipe for the sauce and crust. They know how to make a pizza. They do it right. How do you get one of these beauties? Well, you dial 905-374-2222. Go to their website, petespizzavictoria.ca. Now they have a new store on the corner of Thoroldstone and Kaler for the people in the northwest part of the city. You can have a great pizza as well. Call today. You know you want one. You know you want one. I do. I want a pizza. Go get it. What are you waiting for? They use Dine Dash, all the delivery services. You don't have to worry about it. They'll bring it to you hot and fresh with great ingredients, great toppings, fresh toppings. Order one today. Support our small businesses. They support the city. They're just good corporate citizens. Hey, tell them Paul sent you from Your City, Your Voice. They'll know who you're talking about. Hey, back to Fraudesota. Now, Trump may consider calling for martial law in the state. That's how bad it is now. It's bad. Tampon Tim, the disgraced governor, has lost control and is now encouraging the rioters that are protecting the criminals who defrauded Minnesota. He's telling them, yeah, riot. I shouldn't be here. And the mayor of Minneapolis, he says ICE has got to go. We don't want ICE in our city. And meanwhile, ICE is the only thing that's going to get rid of these illegal aliens that are causing trouble and have stole billions and probably keep the city in check. And of course, Congresswoman and criminal Ilhan Omar, she's right in the middle of it. They're as guilty as the rioters by encouraging all this stuff. And yesterday, an ICE agent was attacked by rioters with snow shovels and sticks. Oh yeah, they're beating him until he had to pull out his weapon. He shot one of them, and the one's in the hospital, and he's in the hospital from the beating he took too. These people have no regard for the law. And the sad part is they're mostly paid agitators. A lot of them are paid agitators. They were paid to be there. You know, one of the journalists said, "Don't you work?" And they said, "No, we get paid to be here." They don't even try to hide it. They don't even try to hide it. So they've come to Fraudesota for one thing, to try and start a civil war. Totally unacceptable. Has to be stopped by Trump. And that's what that girl did. She came to Fraudesota from another state and just came here following ICE around, trying to agitate them. And eventually she took a run at them with her car, and they took care of the rest. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And her wife filmed the whole thing. And you know what's weird? There's all kinds of videos around. Where's the video from her wife? She stood out beside the car filming her and told her to go, 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 baby, go. Where's the video from her camera that she was videoing? Yeah, they haven't released that. Where's that? Somebody's got it. Nobody's talking about that at all. So Trump's answer to all this, mass deportations and warnings that Somalians living under temporary protected status are done. That's right. There's thousands of Somalians in the United States right now, not just in Minnesota, that are living under temporary protected status. They're refugees because Somalia is such a crime-ridden hellhole. It's so bad there. They were trying to escape and they were under temporary protected status, but that's done. He's pulling it. As of March 17th, that no longer exists. They are all going to go back home. And if they don't, ICE will come around, round them up, and send them back home. So if anybody else is thinking of coming to Fraudesota, you're not coming. If you get caught, you're going, as a matter of fact. So don't even try it. As a matter of fact, take the amnesty, get the hell out. They'll give you $3,000 to leave, and then you can come back legally. If you get caught and deported, you are not welcome ever back in the United States. And that's why many more are self-deporting with the option to apply to come back. And to put the icing on the cake, Trump has cut off all funding to sanctuary states, not a dime until they straighten out their act. And that's the best thing he can do. Starting February 1st, the feds are not making any payments to sanctuary cities or states having sanctuary cities because they do everything possible to protect criminals at the expense of American citizens. And that isn't right. It breeds fraud and crime. All states and cities are on notice. Trump is also starting a brand new strike force to investigate fraud in Minnesota and other states to uncover politicians that would aid and abet these massive fraud schemes by looking the other way and covering them up. It's over. Fraudesota is the tip of the iceberg. California is going to be the biggest fraud state in American history. And Illinois and Ohio are not far behind with Massachusetts. New scum in California is involved in billions of dollars of fraud to do with homelessness, to do Pacific Palisades. Some say hundreds of billions. It's going to get ugly in California for new scum. It's going to get ugly for Tampon Tim. And it's going to get ugly from anybody in the states that harbor these illegal alien criminals. They're not getting away with it anymore. Trump is giving them a big FU. I mean, this is going to be the biggest nationwide fraud investigation ever launched. Stay tuned. Heads are going to roll over this one. And I wish Canada would do the same thing because Canadians look so very, very smug, saying, oh, I'm glad we're not American. Oh, I'm glad we don't have these problems in Canada. We do. We do. Nobody's uncovered them yet. We've seen the illegal aliens coming into town. We've seen all the cars stolen, all the crime. Believe me, fraud here is as big as in the United States. Our politicians don't have the cojones to do anything. When they do, they're going to start uncovering it, and these people are going down. And it's going to happen. It has to happen. We're broke. We can't pay any more taxes. We're tired of paying for these people who come here and contribute nothing. And somebody said, oh, that's not fair. Our parents, we come over, they're immigrants too. No, they're not. They're not coming under the same rules and regulations as the people that are coming here now. Our forefathers, our immigrant grandparents, parents, they came over with the intention of working. There was no welfare. You went to work. There was no living in a hotel on Fallsview Boulevard and getting $80,000 a year and firing up these false companies guided by people who have done it before and have stolen before. No, there's none of that. These guys came here to work, our forefathers, and they did, and they built a life for themselves. These people that are coming over from these third world countries now, that's not what they're coming over. That's not the same rules they're coming over under. It should be, but it's not. They got to come over. They got to contribute. No, there's 2 million people running around now with temporary visas that have expired. Nobody's going to get them. They're just running around doing what? Where are they getting their money from? And what about the 50,000 students who came here on student visas, brought their families over? Where are they? Nobody knows where they are. They didn't even show up for one day of class. 20,000 of them from India. These people that are coming over hate capitalism. They hate Canada. They hate the North American way of life. They come here and they steal from you. They're not the same as our parents and our grandparents that came over. It's a whole different ball game now. That's the difference. That's why we got to control it. So while we're on Trump, not only is he ready to take out the IRGC, the Iranian Guard Corporation, he's looking at ending NATO. So let's start with Iran. The IRGC is killing protesters, and Trump has vowed not to let that happen and is at the ready to take care of business in Iran once again. Tankers are flying, airspace has been cleared over Iran, and any Americans there are being told to get the hell out of the country immediately, go to other countries, cross that border, get home, just leave Iran because it's going down. And as I'm sitting here right now, what is it? Probably, I don't know, 2 in the morning there. It's late at night anyway. They're 9 or 10 hours ahead of us. Guess what? It could be going down right now. I don't know. I don't have the TV on to watch it, but it could be going down right now. Israel and the U.S. are at the ready. It's only a matter of time. Not only is he preparing for an airstrike, he has ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln and its strike group to the Middle East from the South China Sea. So they're on their way. It takes about a week to sail to get there. And when they arrive, they've got the biggest and bestest aircraft carriers sitting in there. The USS Abraham Lincoln, yeah. It's a huge move and speaks volumes as to the future of the IRGC and their rule in Iran. They're going down, and the son of the Shah of Iran, he's going to be taken over most likely. Now, in Greenland, Denmark has vowed to protect its territory from Trump and said that it will call on NATO to do that. Now, this is interesting because they're calling on NATO to help the U.S. from taking over Greenland. And on the other side of the coin, the U.S. is saying that they're being threatened by Denmark and NATO has to stand behind them. So what's NATO going to do? Well, guess what? Without the United States, there is no NATO. So at the end of the day, they are going to step in for the U.S. They're going to just let the U.S. go in there and grab them, and Denmark can do whatever they do. The facts are, without the U.S., there's no NATO, and all the countries banded together could not defeat the U.S. military. You side with Denmark, the U.S. would be out, and NATO would not exist. That's the choice they have. Troops from several European countries, including France, Norway, and Sweden, are already arriving in Greenland to help boost the Arctic islands' security after talks between the U.S. and Denmark outlined a fundamental disagreement between Trump and NATO. Germany will also deploy a reconnaissance team of 13 personnel to Greenland as well. Now, Denmark is also increasing its military presence in Greenland as Trump threatens to take over the country the easy way or the hard way. Trump reasons, well, national security. If the U.S. don't take it, Russia and China will. And if he doesn't want them messing around in the Western Hemisphere under the Monroe Doctrine, then he's got to make a move to get a hold of Greenland and make it secure for North America and the Western Hemisphere. Now, staying on Trump for a minute, he wants to investigate financial institutions that are charging outrageous interest rates in the United States, especially on credit cards. And these credit cards are killing Americans with so much interest they can't get out of debt. He wants to cap the interest rate at 10% a year. That's it. No 30% rates like they have now. He's comparing them to mafia loan sharks, the interest rates the banks are putting on people. As well, he's getting rid of the Fed chairman, not the fairman, the Fed chairman, Jim Powell, who refused to lower interest rates to try and hurt Trump in the midterm elections, but more than happy to lower them twice during Kamala's election run. Powell will be kicking dirt, and someone will be appointed that will drop interest rates to help American people. Inflation is low and under control. Tariffs are working. Mortgage rates fell below 6% for the first time in years. Gas prices are the lowest in nearly 5 years. It's working. No matter what you read or what they say, it is working. I wish we'd do that in Canada. Trump isn't letting Powell off the hook for the huge price of remodeling the Fed building either. Originally coming in at $2.5 billion, but with overruns heading into the $3.5 billion range, $1 billion over budget. Trump says that Powell is either incompetent or crooked. Either way, he didn't do a good job. And one thing Trump knows is real estate and refurbishing old buildings. He's done it many, many times. So he knows when there's fraud involved and these numbers are being inflated, whether they're artificially or they're just incompetent, one or the other, and he's going to make sure that he takes care of it by getting rid of Paul and putting a guy in there that wants to drop interest rates for the American people. Hopefully, if the American interest rates go down, the Fed in Canada, the Bank of Canada follows suit, because our real estate market is tanking big time. Look it up. It's a fact. The only thing left, Venezuela. That's the only thing we haven't talked about, right? Might as well talk about that for a second before I end this show today. Trump has sold one super tanker of oil and received another $500 million for it. The oil is going to be moved to the U.S. and refined in the U.S. for now, till they get the oil refineries back up and running in Venezuela. The money will go back to Venezuelans and to companies that were nationalized during the Chavez regime. They are owed billions, and those billions came from a settlement that they never paid. Venezuelan never paid to them. So now they're going to get their money. And he has 4 more hulls. That's what they call these big super tankers, hulls, to sell. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of money flowing around the U.S., a lot of oil in the U.S. The strategic reserves are going to be filled again. And that means good times for the United States. That means good times for the United States. For Canada, too bad, so sad. Your oil, we don't need it. Yeah, that's what Trump's telling them. We don't need it. We got lots in Venezuela. It's the same as your oil, heavy crude. Yep. So yeah, we can just take it from Venezuela. Your oil, you can do whatever you want with it. Ship it over to China. Oh yeah, well we don't want oil to have China. We got an embargo on them as far as oil goes. So Canada, you do that, you're going to get tariffed to death. I mean, seriously, Carnage has screwed this country. He has sold it out. It's being liquidated as we speak. Everybody's going, why don't he do this? No, because he was hired to kill Canada. He was hired to get rid of Canada, to liquidate it, sell it to the highest bidder. That's what the globalists want. And unfortunately, it's not going to be China, because Trump would never allow China to run Canada, to run any country in the Western Hemisphere. There's only one thing that Canada can do before Alberta takes a powder and the rest of the country falls like dominoes. The only thing they can do, make a deal with Trump. You don't have to give up your sovereignty. Just make a deal with Trump. Get the money flowing. Take advantage of their economy that's so huge, the biggest in the world that everybody wants to be a part of. And that's that. It's over. I don't know what Carnage is waiting for. Seriously, he wants to liquidate Canada. He's proving it with everything he does. Why does he want to deal with a communist country? Why does he want to deal with third world countries who have nothing to offer? Because you know what's going to happen? We're going to be putting money in their pockets. We're going to be sending money to them. That's the way it works. Somalians sending money to Al-Shabaab, the terrorist groups. Canadian illegal aliens sending money to their terrorist groups, and then sending money to their countries that they buy weapons with. Carnage is working for Brookfield and working for the globalists and WEF. If you don't get it by now, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'm getting out of here. Well, I don't have to get out of anywhere. I'm in the Video Science Studios. But tomorrow is going to be finally Friday, and I am going to tear that budget apart. We're going to talk about that for the show tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be in the Video Sign Studios or in the studios downtown, but I'll be somewhere doing this show. I got a feeling I'm going to be sitting right here again tomorrow when I do finally Friday. And then on Monday, by the time Monday rolls around, the weather will be clear. We'll be back in the studio. Al McKay is coming in from the Property Taxpayers Alliance. And we're going to talk about all these budgets. And we're going to talk about the 1.5 million transportation plan. And we're going to talk about the budget, the police budget, what's going to happen, where we think this region is going, because Doug Ford has said he wants to amalgamate this region, and then he wants to expand the tourism, doubling it up. So we'll see what Al has to say about that. It's going to be a fun, manic Monday as we move into next week, and then we move into the meetings for the budget. And I'll be talking more about the budget as we go. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to take care of our sponsors. Get over there. Get your car fixed up. Get it winterized at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Go get a pizza or some wings or some poutine or a chicken parm sandwich. How about that? And Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, 2 locations. The one on Fraudesota and Gale is open now. We thank you for tuning in. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow at noon sharp. Promises made, promises kept. Your city, your voice in the studios of Video Sign Incorporated on this snowy day. I'm going to go back out and shovel some more. Talk to you tomorrow at 12 noon. Have a good one, and thanks for tuning in.